Welcome to this episode of me showing you a few things of how I do in DaVinci Resolve. Now, I was doing a small little example with a friend of mine, and he was like, I think you should make a video on this kind of lesson. It's because a lot of people out there just don't know how to use DaVinci Resolve, and actually they're fairly new to movie making. That means they don't understand what's the meaning of ripple, what's the meaning of a clip even for that. So I just thought, let me just start a small little video just for people who are thinking about getting into video editing, even if you don't want to be a YouTuber, but you still like to make maybe home movies and stuff like that. I do remember the first time when I was looking at DaVinci Resolve, and you know what? I mean, if you look at the software right now, you can see it has like so many different things. And at the bottom, there are like these 7 tabs, and once you start flying through the tabs, like how I'm doing right now, you'll be like overwhelmed. You'll be like, oh my God, this thing looks a little bit too involved. I don't even know what these things are and stuff like that. Anyway, so I thought, like, maybe I would just do a small little lesson, and then just to introduce a few little ideas or concepts of how this basically works. So when you're shooting a video, like for example, I'm shooting this video right now, what you have is a recording on a camera. And then from the camera, what you're going to do is you are actually going to move it from the camera to the computer. And then in the computer, you will take the clip into, or at least the video clip, into the software, and then that's when you start actually working. But now, like for example, let's say I have this little example over here, and I have brought one clip of a video that I was working on into here. Now I'm going to go to what is known as an edit page, which basically looks like this. And on the top, if I click the media pool, I can see my clip right over there. Okay, and I'm going to use my mouse, and I'm going to click that clip, and I'm going to bring it into the timeline. So that is a clip, and I'm going to drag it, as you can see, into the timeline. And what happens is I'm going to press Ctrl Z so that you can see the entire timeline. If you look at it at the bottom, you can see that that's the entire time. That means that's the entire clip, that particular clip. Now I could have more clips, but that's the particular clip right there. And I can move it up and down using my mouse. Of course, I'm going to snap it all the way to the beginning. And if I look all the way at the end over here, you can see that it says that my clip right now is 10:45. That means it's 10 minutes 45 seconds. And if I click in the middle over here, you see the timing up there will change, and now it says that my playhead, this is my playhead, is actually at whatever the time it moves it all the way up there. I mean, those are just numbers anyway. So now let's say if I look at this clip right here, there are 2 parts to this clip. One is known as the video, which is the image, the visuals. And the second one is known as the sound wave, and it corresponds. Now you could detach it, but in DaVinci, they allow you to link it both together. And then if you unlink it, then you can actually detach it. Now let me just show you what I mean by that. Let's say there's a small little link button right over there. And if I unlink it, and if I click out, as you can see, now I can click only the video, and I can click the audio separately. But if I put them both together, or if I just click out and I click link, and if I go there, you can see it's both linked together. So that means if I move it, the sound and the video moves together. But if I unlink it, the video moves separately. Okay, I don't want the video to move separately. I want them all to be together right now, just for this little example. Now, if I want to split my clip into 2, I have a shortcut that I have placed it on my keyboard, which I ideally in DaVinci, it basically says it's B for blade, which is right up here. But I reassign that to C because for me it's easier to remember. C means cut, so it's easy. So if I put my playhead right over here, and if I click C, it's going to cut the clip into 2. So as you can see, I'm moving it out. So 1 clip has now become 2 clips. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole thing because we don't have a lot of time. I just want to kind of just talk only about a few things so that way you know how editing works. The idea is, like Alfred Hitchcock says it, is editing is an assembly of clips. Assembly of clips put together in some kind of order so that way you tell a story. So that means if I was doing it like this, I could move my beginning and I could pick it up and take it all the way towards the end and put it towards the end. That means I can move things around. Like, like sometimes when you watch a movie, it starts with the end and then there's a whole flashback. That is why, because, that's how they wanted to tell the story. So if you are doing any kind of project and if you want to move clips around, this is one way of doing it. So that's why editing is a very interesting skill. And I would request that everybody out there at least learn the basic things about editing, because it's so nice in storytelling. That means you could actually tell a story, or you could shoot a story. And that's what I do, is when I go out and I will shoot a story. And then when I come in here and when I'm going to my timeline, I have the flexibility of retelling the story a little bit differently in order to make the story better. I don't always do it, but I have the flexibility. Now, if you are a storyteller and you don't know about editing, chances are you may miss out on that. So that's why editing is such a nice skill that you should consider looking into it, in case some of us might just say, my God, editing is very time consuming. And actually editing is time consuming. It's just that it is so much more fun when you're editing. They always say, like, be a storyteller that edits. Be a storyteller, or how does it say? Be a person who tells the story through editing, which is incredible. And I think that's wonderful. So I think that this is just like a very interesting thing over here. So anyway, so this is the clip, and I can move the clip up so that when I play it over here, I can go from this clip to this clip. So that means if I'm playing it, as you can see, and if I hit space bar, it will play this clip, and then suddenly it will jump to the next clip right there. So that means I'm going basically from what's known as A to B. And you see, I went off to B. Okay, that's pretty cool right there. And you could like do all kinds of stuff. Like you can I can stop right there and I can reduce this clip. That means I can really make it shorter. I could move it up and down as I like. I can go in here. I can highlight. I can pick this one, and then I can zoom out. And so that way, if I am, let me just remove the magnet. The magnet is like the snapping tool. So now if I play it, you can see that it'll jump in. Just watch. You see, and now you see it jumps in. Boom, it jumps in. You see, so even though that was like one camera angle, but you can see that I went from just because I zoomed in, it pretends as if it was two cameras that were shooting the same thing, but actually it was only one camera. So this is like the basics of it. I don't even know if I'm doing a very good job, but I just want people to know that if you're doing a basic talking head like this kind of video, you don't need to go into all kinds of different things. All you need is just the edit page, and then you can go straight to the deliver page, which is basically you're rendering it out. So like, for example, if I go there right now, and those are the two clips, I can click both of them. And then I can go to YouTube, I can click YouTube, I can hit render. Render means to mix it down into a movie file. I can name it something, and then I can hit save, it'll go over there. And then I can hit render all, and then it'll start mixing the whole movie down, ready to be sent to YouTube. That means I'll mix the file down, put it on my desktop, and then from my desktop take it into YouTube. So this is a very easy process. So this is just a small little lesson. Tell me what you think. I'm trying out stuff also, and of course, if you like more of it, I'll continue these lessons into small segments, and then I will just keep posting it on. So please, thank you very much for your attention, and see you guys soon.